Hello everyone, this is Selva, and in today's coaching video, I want to talk to you about how to choose your schedule for learning English or learning anything, okay? So there are like three aspects that I consider very important when you need to decide your moment in the day to learn something, for example, English in this case. So let's take a look at the aspects that you need to consider first. You need to think about your objective, your routine, and your plan B, right? Because this life is uncertain, especially these years have been very crazy. So we need to plan to change our plan, right? We need to have a plan B. So first, think about your objective. So I want to talk about this aspect because it's very, very important, not only for choosing the time in which you are going to study, but I think it's like the aspect that you need to consider for taking almost any decision, right? Like, what is the objective of finding this kind of job? What is the objective of looking for certain clients? What is the objective? What do I want to obtain by buying this kind of car or clothes, Like, I think that knowing why and what for you're doing things, right, is going to help you a lot then in choosing between options, right? So first, are you studying to practice, to improve your level of English, and why? What kind of improvement are you looking for? Do you need to take a test? Do you just want to improve your English for personal reasons? All of these aspects in your decision, in your objective, matter when you need to find out when is the right time for you to study. So for example, if you just want to maintain your level of English, let's say you are in an intermediate level and you just want to go slow and just maintain and maybe elevate your English but slowly, then you can just find 30 minutes to have a conversation class, right? And it doesn't matter if you are tired that day or if you have things to do afterwards, because it's like you just want to practice using English in almost any situation, right? So, but if you need to learn English, let's say for an exam, you need to find a time during the day or the week in which you will have a few hours to practice that exam. For example, the TOEFL. If you are preparing for the TOEFL, the real test is 4 hours. So eventually, you will need to practice for at least 3 or 4 hours, right? So you can practice spending so much time being concentrated, okay? Or are you just practicing fluency? In that case, even if you're practicing fluency for your TOEFL, in that case, you will just need 10 minutes every day to practice fluency. So you will just sit down anywhere and look at a picture and describe it as fast and organized as you can. So, and probably you will do it during the morning because you will need to be fresh, have ideas from the image that you are going to describe, organize your ideas, so you need to be kind of relaxed or concentrated. You need to put some energy on that, right? So probably the morning will be better for fluency, but short fluency practice. But if you are not a morning person, probably is the afternoon, so all of that, your routine, and that is the second part, is going to influence your decision. So let's take a look at your routine, which is the second aspect. Are you a morning person? Do you like to be active in the mornings? Or do you work a lot during the mornings? but you're not really active, but you have to? Do you like to read or watch movies during the night? What is your life like, your routine like, and what is your mood like during the day? Are you more active in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the night, right? Weekdays or weekends. Some people are very, very active during the week, like Monday through Friday, and they just don't want to study on Saturday. So you need to sit down and really analyze that. If you think Saturday is the only moment in which you have free time, but you don't really like to study anything on Saturday, it's not going to work for you. So you need to find a little spot during the week, even if it's 30 minutes, to study during the week. Because if you don't enjoy studying during on Saturdays, then you're not going to like it, And if you don't like it, it will be stressful and you will not advance as fast as others could, right? So always take a look at when you like to be active, when you have time, right? And don't worry if it's not an hour. Remember, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes is enough if you are consistent, okay? So your objective is important. Once you define your objective for learning, then you're gonna decide what moment in the day is the best, which is according to your routine and what hours are more active for you. And finally, think about a plan B. And why is that? Sometimes it's kind of frustrating for us to schedule something like every Monday, for example, and sometimes there are some, events that we need to go to, or some, personal activities that you need to be in, right? So you miss class and you feel like guilty, right? Or sometimes your job is really crazy one month and you cannot really be during that day in your class, on that day or Monday or Tuesday, whatever. It's difficult for you that month, right? So try to have a plan B. Try to think, okay, I will choose this day because if I cannot be present on that day, probably I can just take a look at the lesson on Thursday, let's say, right? Or if like my week has been crazy, I will take a look at it on Saturday for a few minutes, or a few minutes before my next class, So always try to have a backup plan whenever you cannot make it to the class, so you don't feel guilty, you don't feel frustrated, and you really, really make time for that lesson that you are missing, okay? So you make time to go to the lesson, to the materials that you were going to study that day, or to do anything that was required for you to advance on that day. And then the next lesson, you will just continue normally without, getting stuck in the previous lesson that you couldn't go to or attend to, okay? So I think that these three aspects, knowing your objective, knowing your routine, and having, some backup plan and being nice to you, really like saying, sometimes I'm not gonna be able to do it. Those three things are going to be really, really helpful if you this year want to achieve all your English or any other objective, right? So think about these three aspects, and now that the year is starting, try to find out when is the best moment for you to have your classes and when is the best moment for you to do the distance activities, okay? So I'll see you next week with another coaching video. Bye-bye.